Alright, and we're getting ready to go for this final match in this tournament, the 2023 SGL Castlevania 2 Randomizer tournament. This is the grand final, the decider. Big Daddy Drums won game 1. Since he came through the loser's bracket, he needs to win 2 in a row, but he's got the first one. If he can get one more, he'll take this tournament down. If Xytoriak wins, he'll be the champ. Okay, and our guys are readying up, and they're just about to get started. And here we go, underway. Both runners again electing to check this first shot. And this time we're not going to have as much trouble with the swamp because in the river because we have laurels right off the bat. And Big Daddy Drum's going to buy those laurels and head right over to the left side. We got a second laurel in the second vendor. So a plethora of laurels here to start out, and the heart. So that heart will be used to get over to the Brahms Mansion location when they pick that up. And the runners are going to take advantage of those laurels to get across the swamp and get across this river. Big Daddy Drums using both laurels to get over. I'm gonna check this item, the free item here in the town of Alba. And it's a crystal, so first crystal of 3 required. Xytoriak in the town right behind him. Both runners picking up their crystal, and both runners it looks like are going to continue on to the left. So interesting play here. No, Big Daddy's going to warp in. He didn't see the other 2 items. Xytoriak did see the other 2 items, so he's got that knowledge. Big Daddy Drums might not want to proceed over there without knowing what these items are here. This could be a whip upgrade. It could be some sort of other offensive upgrade. It could be a holy water, so he wants to know what these are before he keeps going. Xytoriak gonna keep proceeding here with no upgrades at all. He's not even level 1. Takes a death on that mummy. The mummies do a ton of damage when you're level 0, which is very unusual to be level 0 and being on this far on the left side of the screen. I feel like Xytoriak is probably going to grind some experience here. This is actually a really good grind spot. He could elect to go all the way up to level 2 here if he wanted to. Needs to be careful though, as you see those mummies do 2/3 of his health bar of damage. There's level 1. He might keep going here. This is a really good farm spot. He may elect to go all the way up to level 2 right now. We'll see if he does that. Drum is picking up the more cheap laurels, so I think he has a full bag of 4 laurels. We'll see what play he's going to make here. I think Xytoriak is going to take advantage of this easy enemy set and get all the way to level 2 if he can here. Yeah, and there it is, level 2 very early in the first 5 minutes. So that'll help him out as the seed progresses. Plus he's got maximum hearts, the maximum of 256 hearts. Bigdaddydrums electing to go into the Brahms mansion area. This is a little bit of a risky play, but it could pay off for him if he finds something really useful here. Meanwhile, Xytoriak buying some garlic. That'll open up a couple checks for him. And two potential issues with this play for Bigdaddydrums. Number one, he doesn't have an oak stake, so he won't be able to break the orb if he doesn't find one here. And number two is, without any offense, it's going to be really difficult to kill Death, the boss of the mansion that's over here. It's extremely difficult to kill that boss without any offensive upgrades. But he has a few checks here before he has to look at those, which could resolve those issues for him. So if this could pay off big time, or it could set him back. We'll see what happens. And the oak stake issue is resolved. He finds an oak stake there, so that's probably a relief. He still doesn't really have any way to kill Death, but we'll see if he gets another answer. And Xytoriak picks up a dagger. That's an answer to being able to kill Death. As we saw in the first seed, Xytoriak able to get that one-shot glitch kill on Death. And he'll probably look to do that again if he heads over to that area. And he's going to pick up the cheap laurels. And I have a feeling he is also going to be headed over to the Brahms mansion area. And a little bit better equipped to do so as well. Xytoriak picking up the heart, so that'll give him access to the area where Big Daddy Drums is right now. If you show Dracula's heart to the ferryman, he will take you to Brahm's mansion instead of the town of Alba. But it looks like Xytoriak's instead going to elect to go right, so we've got a little bit of route divergence here. This Big Daddy Drums struggling with these enemies, and he still only has that leather whip for offense, so this is pretty difficult. And he's also level 1, which means he's not all that tanky right now. Or I can't tell. I can't actually tell if he's level 2. Not a lot of hearts here for Big Daddy Drums, so we'll have to see if he's able to deal with... Well, first of all, we'll have to see if he's able to buy the item, if it's going to be available here. And right now it's looking like probably not. Even if it's a cheap item, I don't think he's going to have enough money to buy it. And really getting harassed by this spider. And Xytoriak, not having an oak stake, elects to bypass Berkeley Mansion. Drums choosing to leave that heart out there. That prevents, if you leave an enemy's heart, it prevents them from respawning. So that can be a trick to get past some tricky areas. And taking another death there. This is very difficult combat without any offense. You want to see Xytoriak taking advantage of that dagger. Oh, it's a holy water. That's big, but he doesn't have enough money to buy. He'll need to farm a little bit. It's not very expensive, so I'm sure he'll pick it up here. That could be a big advantage. This early trip into Brahm's Mansion looking like it's going to pay off for Big Daddy Drums. He just needs to farm a little bit of hearts. He doesn't have a lot of offense, but he just needs like 1 or 2 kills here. Yeah, and he does have enough there, so that's big. That holy water is huge. Again, Big Daddy Drums getting the holy water first. Xytoriak gets an oak stake from the graveyard. And another big thing about that holy water, it'll let Big Daddy Drums actually do a glitch kill on death. You can also do a glitch kill with the holy water as well as the dagger. So Big Daddy Drums getting all the tools he needs to get through this level. Trying to set up this floor drop. This is a little bit tricky sometimes. I didn't catch what the other item was. I was looking at... Big Daddy Drums gets that floor drop after a few tries. He's gonna try, and there he gets the pretty quick kill. Unfortunately, not a good item for him. He gets the silver knife, which is, again, the most useless item in the game. Does get the gold knife, which is a useful item. But the big pickup there for bigdaddydrums was that holy water. Xytoriak gonna head over to the Brahms Mansion area as well. But it looks like bigdaddydrums taking that gamble, going over to Brahms early, might just pay off for him. He's gonna want to farm a little bit here since he doesn't have much money. He's gonna want to get the 2 checks in the town of Veros. Using that holy water offensively on those mummies. Nicely done there. Xytoriak picking up his oak stake. I think he may have already had one. And nice floor drop there. We've got a blue crystal. Bigdaddydrums can't afford it, but I think, was that blue crystal or was that nail? It could have been either. Either way, he's going to do some farming here since these zombies rolled up on hit points. So he's going to have to do a little bit of farming here. You see the townspeople getting in the way of the farming as in order to keep the shops open during the night. To make that work, we also had to have the townspeople spawned. It's just the way that the game code works. But they can be kind of annoying when you're trying to farm, especially in this town. Xytoriak picking up what I think is the blue crystal? The sprite looks weird on my screen, so... Xytoriak gets his holy water, so that is big. Nail is in Bodley, so we know that now. So that was definitely the blue crystal. Xytoriak gets that floor drop, and he's gonna find. He gets the double floor drop there. Let's see if he goes and grabs that clue. Yeah, he's gonna get the clue. This could be vital. Okay, garlic for sale in Ondel. I think we already. Well, actually, I don't think Big Daddy Drums knew that there was garlic there. I'm not sure about that. Drums getting that floor drop after a few tries. And finding an extra pack of laurels there, not the worst thing you could find there, but not what he was looking for. And we find there that the eyeball is in Laruba. That means that Laruba Mansion is going to be required this seed, unlike the previous seed. Big Daddy Drums going without a lot of second level up here. Let's see if he farms for that level 2. He might be a good place to get it, although he's gonna keep going here a little bit. And Xytoriak electing to get this very difficult to reach clue. And he's going to find out that Rover Mansion is required. So that clue is not picked up very frequently because it's a bit out of the way and it's also a little bit difficult to get to. But looks like that might pay off for Xytoriak, that he went and got that. And we'll see. He might be going to get another oak stake as well. Well, Big Daddy Drums heading into the town of Algebra, and he's going to get the checks that are here. Another pack of laurels, not really what he was looking for there. Big Daddy Drum's going to check this room that only has a clue in it, no items, but this clue could be valuable. So it's sometimes worth it to take the extra time to check it. And it doesn't help him, but I think he's going to be happy to see what that told him. Which is that this other vendor has an oak stake for him, which he actually, that's actually huge for him, because now he's going to be able to go into Rover. And we know now that Rover Mansion, the orb, has a required item in there. So I think that's going to put Big Daddy Drums in a pretty substantial lead here. Oh wait. Wait, did I misread that clue? That is the rib which he needed. It must have said Alba. Drums getting that floor drop. I didn't see if he actually picked up an oak stake anywhere. Oh, he does have an oak stake. Okay. Well, maybe the first shop was the oak stake, and I missed it. That's probably what happened. It's very hard to keep track of both screens at the same time. And these enemies are giving bigdaddydrums the business here. He does manage to use the Holy Water stun lock there to get through. We'll see if he goes for the wrong warp here. He's going to grab the item first. He'll probably get the wrong warp after. There is a trick here that allows you to warp up to the top part of the mansion a lot quicker if you have the holy water, which he does. And he's going to use that block, and he's going to go for a double drop here, and only gets one. It's a very difficult trick to get through that both drops there, but it does save about 20 seconds if you get it. But he'll just take the long way around, which is okay. And gets the clue that the Sacred Flame is in Alba. So he knows that one of the checks in Alba is not going to be required, since that is not a required item. He does get that crystal out of the rover orb, the red crystal, which is another required item. Yeah, he's gonna miss that wrong warp and fall in the water. He's just a few pixels off, so he's gonna select to go out the slow way, which is fine. And for the second seed in a row, again, we're not seeing any early whip upgrades. Neither runner with a whip upgrade. Xytoriak does have that dagger, just giving him a little bit of combat advantage. But in terms of positioning here, it looks like bigdaddydrums has a pretty sizable lead. Basically, the entirety of Rover Mansion ahead on Xytoriak. We'll see where bigdaddydrums goes to next. He might elect to grab another oak stake. Xytoriak gonna elect to grab the clue over here first, which is a totally viable play. I don't think bigdaddydrums check this clue, so this could give Xytoriak an advantage if it's something useful. And it's not, it's knowledge that we already had, that there's a oak stake in Vrad Mountain. That's the lonely vendor in the mountains near Brahm's mansion. And Xytoriak gonna go for this wrong warp. And he also just gets a single, so neither runner getting the double drop in Rover Mansion. Okay, there's the oak stake for bigdaddydrums. See where he elects to go next. Very likely a mansion, but we'll see which one he chooses to take. Switch over to bigdaddydrums' audio here for a second while we got Xytoriak a little bit frozen. An interesting play here. bigdaddydrums gonna go for the Ruba Mansion here with the leather whip. This is a gutsy play. This is an extremely difficult mansion with just the leather whip, as Xytoriak gets that wrong warp, skipping part of that screen, saving a few seconds. So nicely done there. But we'll see if this play pays off for bigdaddydrums. This is, like I said, this is pretty risky, but we know that there's a required item in here, so that he can get for sure for free. Now, big question is, will he have enough money to buy the item? And right now it's looking like no. So if that's a required item, that could be a big problem. Drums is just taking the death there to get that Medusa head off his back. But it's going to be very difficult to farm money here with just the leather whip. That's why generally you don't... It's very unusual to make this play to go into Laruba without any sort of whip upgrade. Maybe trying to get a crit here with this holy water. That's... I don't know if he got the crit there or if he just did enough damage to kill it, but he did get the hearts from that ghost. I'm gonna check the vendor here. It's very unlikely he'll have enough money to buy whatever's here, so he's probably hoping that this is not something he needs. Meanwhile, Xytoriak doing those algebra checks. Got a crit there on that ghost. I don't think he's gonna be able to get that heart though. Does get the one off the harpy. And it's Oak Stake, which he doesn't need. He already picked up the free one in Algebra, so that's probably a little bit of relief there. Unless he forgot that he got the Oak Stake, which is possible. Xytoriak picking up his rib, so they're square on that front. Gets Dracula's eye for free from the vendor there, so one step closer to finishing. And Xytoriak also gonna make this play. Of course, he knows that that eye is there. He saw the clue. I don't know if bigdaddydrums saw that other clue. And maybe changing his mind here. Big Daddy Drums gets the ring off of Dracula, so... two items that are required here in Laruba. And Big Daddy Drums going to attempt Carmilla with just a leather whip. He does have that gold knife, which allows him to stun Carmilla, but each one of these ticks is only doing 1 point of damage, since the gold knife does weapon damage only. So this is going to be a lot of hits, even with that gold knife. He's probably going to run out of hearts before he's able to finish this off. But he should be able to finish this fight with just the whip, I would think. Meanwhile, Xytoriak grabbing an oak stake and warping out. So he's going to elect to defer Laruba. We know he's going to have to go back there eventually, but we'll see. Maybe he'll find a more efficient way to get through here. Got a freeze over on Big Daddy Drums' side. So we'll switch over to Xytoriak's audio. Looks like Big Daddy Drums still fighting Carmilla. So hopefully we can see the end of that fight to see what item he gets out of here. Looks like he's run out of hearts though for that gold knife ammo. Gold knife requiring 2 hearts per use, so he's probably out of hearts. Looking to finish off this fight with just the leather whip. And not getting the best patterns here. Gets a good pattern here. Try to finish this off. Well, we got Xytoriak doing a little bit of farming here in the town of Elba. And remember, Carmilla has 240 hit points. Each one of these whip strikes only does 1 damage with the leather whip, so yeah, she thick today, for sure. Big Daddy Drums gotta be careful here. One more body hit and he's gonna take a death and lose all of this progress on this fight. And he's done a significant amount of damage, so he definitely does not want to get hit here. He's gonna be really careful. And he does get it down. It's just an oak stake. Probably not what he was hoping for there, but that does mean he's not going to have to grab another oak stake before doing another mansion, which I guess is a consolation. Meanwhile, Xytoriak with this farming has picked up level 3, so that's actually going to give him a 75% damage reduction for the rest of the seed, which is huge. So he's practically unkillable at this point. And let's see what's available in this shop. We've got a Sacred Flame in the bottom shop. We knew one of those was a Sacred Flame. We saw hints, but the other one could be something useful. see. I think Big Daddy Drums is going to have to probably farm a little bit if he wants to get the item that's in Elba. I think he used all of his hearts on that Carmilla fight. I would say Big Daddy Drums has the advantage here, since he has already done Laruba Mansion, while Xytoriak has not done that mansion yet. And we still, again, we've not seen any whip upgrades so far. And Diamond is upstairs, so neither item is needed in Alba. Two mostly useless sub-weapons in the town of Alba. Both of those items can, under certain circumstances, be a little bit useful, but this is not one of those circumstances. Since both runners have Leather Whip, actually both of those items are going to do 0 damage, because they do weapon or whip damage -1, which is 1 minus 1 is 0. So not very useful right at the moment. Xytoriak gonna check out this second shop in Ondel we didn't see earlier because we didn't have a way to break these blocks. And that is our first whip upgrade of the seed at almost 41 minutes in. So again, another seed with almost no offense. Let's see if Big Daddy Drums does a little bit of farming here. It's very likely, since this is an easy enemy set, he's probably going to want to buy the items in the next town. We saw Xytoriak do a grind on the screen earlier and have a lot of success with that, so we'll see if Big Daddy Drums also goes for that. Xytoriak using the Graveyard boost for the second time to go to Laruba. So he's going to go into Laruba with a little more offense than Big Daddy Drums has. But having twice as much damage is actually kind of a big deal. Well, Big Daddy Drums is going to check this shop. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to pick this up. See if he grabs this whip upgrade. I don't know what his heart total is, though. Does get the whip upgrade. That leaves him with 26 hearts. But Big Daddy Drums now has his first whip upgrade of the seed, so maybe he'll do a little bit of farming here. I don't think he actually picked up the first item here, if I recall. Maybe he did. It looks like he's going to do a little more farming here, which is probably a smart play. I think it's garlic is the vendor up here, if I recall correctly. That was a while ago since we've seen that, though. Yeah, there's the garlic, so we'll have to see if Big Daddy Drums, if he chooses to do those garlic checks, or if he goes right to the end. I don't think the garlic checks had any items, if I recall correctly, that were required. Ring for Xytoriak. We'll see if he goes for the Carmilla fight. He does have a lot of hearts here for the gold knife, and he has twice as much whip damage, so he's going to do twice as much damage as Big Daddy Drums. So this fight hopefully won't take nearly as long as it did Big Daddy Drums. He's got that thumb lock in there, so this will take a little bit, but not as long as Big Daddy Drums took. Meanwhile, Big Daddy Drums is going left, so he's going to do those left, or, well, he's going to take the warp and do the far right side checks, it looks like. Which I think is the correct play. Going in the water there, those blocks can be tricky if you don't go right away. So it gets across safely the second try. Daddy Drums needing 2 more items. I don't remember where all the items are. I don't think we've seen any of these checks on the far left side, if I recall. And garlic in the... Oh, okay. So Big Daddy Drums going to warp home, not check the bodily checks this time. I'm not sure if... I don't remember if the garlic checks had any required items. Maybe chat can call that. Xytoriak again going right out of Laruba to get the right side check, so it looks like we might have Xytoriak going into the lead here potentially. Xytoriak getting that garlic, which he doesn't need at this point. I think Xytoriak may have done every other check besides these last 3, which we know Doina is a whip upgrade, so it's not going to be required. So if that's the case, which I think it is, it looks like Xytoriak might be in the driver's seat still. don't remember if Xytoriak actually checked Berkeley. That's a... Which is where bigdaddydrums in Berkeley Mansion right now, so we'll have to see if there's an item there, then he's in great shape. Xytoriak, I probably is hoping that both of these last items are in Bodley Mansion. Xytoriak farming up some parts here on these low health enemies. Wants to make sure he has enough to get whatever item is for sale in this mansion. There's one of the whip upgrades, so bigdaddydrums picking that up, gives him the chain whip. Both runners trying to set up a floor drop. Xytoriak gets his, bigdaddydrums just takes the stairs, which is fine. No, simultaneous checks here. We got the nail in. Okay, two whip upgrades for bigdaddydrums, not what he was looking for. Nail for Xytoriak. This might be... He might be in go mode here if this orb has the last item, which I believe is the cross. Yeah, and there it is. Both the last items in Bodley Mansion. So Xytoriak in go mode. Bigdaddydrums still needs to go into Bodley. He elected to go back and check Berkeley, and it ended up not paying off for him. He got a couple whip upgrades he doesn't really need. Although Xytoriak here, just with the leather whip, so this is going to be a little bit tricky to get through the rest of the game, but he should be able to do it. He does have that dagger for the quick Dracula kill, so just having the thorn whip might not be that big of a problem, but we'll have to see. So Xytoriak skipping those checks in Berkeley appears to be the difference here. He's now pretty far ahead, although he still doesn't have any whip upgrades. He might be able to finish the seed with just a leather whip, though. Bigdaddydrums getting that dagger that Xytoriak's had for almost 40 minutes now. Now, I believe he's kind of thinking about where he wants to go next. He might be going for the graveyard boost and then check that other garlic check, which we know doesn't have anything he needs at this point. Meanwhile, Xytoriak able to damage boost through enemies. So a bit slow, but he's got a big advantage here. He's got everything he needs. He's in go mode. He just needs to finish the seed up. He can afford to boost his way through here, take a few deaths. It's not a big deal. He doesn't need to buy anything with hearts. He just needs to kill Dracula. And meanwhile, bigdaddydrums having some difficulty with this boost. Problem is that he's killing some of these enemies that needs to boost off of in one shot, so that's making it a lot more difficult than it might ordinarily be. Yeah, but Xytoriak is into Dracula's mansion here at about the 56-minute mark. So he should be able to take this down unless something really catastrophic happens here for him. Using the 2-jump setup for the floor drop. Now I'm going to attempt this quad drop. We saw bigdaddydrums hit this in the first match. Just a single for Xytoriak. That's going to be good enough, though. Yeah, bigdaddydrums getting the bad news. It's just an oak stake. Now he knows where the last 2 items are. He knows he was there about 10 minutes ago, and he could have went for them, but he chose not to make that gamble. It wasn't a bad play on his part, it's just that it turned out that the last 2 items he needed were both in Bodley Mansion. Xytoriak going for this dagger kill, and he gets it on 3 jumps. Great, nicely done. Get your GGs out for Xytoriak, who's going to take down this tournament. So great job by both runners there, and yeah, Xytoriak wins the whole tournament, takes the final match. Bigdaddydrums won the first one to force the decider, and Xytoriak wins this one. So a couple of really entertaining matches there. We saw a lot of route divergence, runners trying different strategies. and some of them paying off and some of them not. I don't know, since we're on the theme race, I don't know if it's going to invite the racers in for commentary. I think it automatically does that when you hit done, but since we already did a done, I'm not sure if it's going to give them the invite. We'll have to see. But either way, GG's to both runners. They both played a great tournament. Yeah, so it looks like we might not get our runners in here for an interview, but again, I want to congratulate both of them on a great tournament. So a couple of exciting races here. We saw where different routing can make a big impact on the result of the seed. Okay, we are joined by our tournament winner, Xytoriak. GG's and congratulations. Well played.
Thank you. Yeah, that was another tricky one a little bit. It's nice to find early holy water, but just talking a little bit with Big Daddy Drums, it sounds like my gamble to skip Berkeley is probably what did it the most, or him gambling that the orb wouldn't have something in Bodley.
Yeah, that pretty much was the difference. And we're also joined by Big Daddy Drums, so GG's to you as well. Great tournament.
Yes. Oh, I could have had the second one. That's okay. I'm going to take solace in the fact that I finally got my first ever quad in any kind of run, regardless of anything at all, to get it while playing through the game. So that's not just a practice. So I'm taking that as my big win.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially, I don't think I've ever done it with the Flame Whip before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great to see. That was really exciting. So that first race, saw that quad drop, which is a very hard trick to pull off. And to do it in a tournament final is pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah.
So what did you think about that seed, Big Daddy Drums? I know another one with not very much offense available, especially early.
No. Yeah, and then me deciding to try to fight Laruba with that whip was excruciating. And I was ready to give it up, but I'm like, if I give it up now, like halfway through it, I was just like, forget it. And then I was like, but what if this is something? I'm already halfway through it, so I just had to gut my way through it. But yeah,
You
both
did
of them
pretty well, considering that you only had the leather whip there. Unfortunately, it wasn't an item you needed. There was 2 items available there, but it wasn't one from Carmilla, so that was a lot of time. I think Xytoriak had the Thorn Whip when he got over there, so it was a little bit faster for him.
Yeah. I know that I grinded to level 3 before that too, so I was able to damage boost my way through there, and then I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to game over in there because for whatever the merchant had, but
welcome back.
The merchant, having the oak steak, I was like, okay, I need to make sure I can afford that on the way out, and then Carmilla dropped one for me anyway.
So
that's right, Carmilla did have the extra oak steak, so you didn't need one.
Yeah, no.
Were you thinking about maybe doing Bodley when you were over there originally, bigdaddydrums, or did that not cross your mind? Were you thinking, let's get those Berkeley checks first?
Well, when I got there at the end, I was like, because I knew I had that clue that told me that the nail was there. So I'm like, oh, the Ur probably doesn't have it, so let me go back and do my other checks first. And I think that's really what cost me at the end, because I assumed that Ur wasn't going to have anything. If I had gone in there, I think it would have been much, much closer.
Yeah, I mean, that was a reasonable assumption. You had 4 other checks, I think. I think you had both garlic checks and then both Berkeley checks, so it wasn't a bad play, it just didn't work out for you. And I'm pretty sure Xytoriak skipped. Well, he must have skipped Berkeley because he finished the game with a leather whip.
Yeah, when I got done with Brahms and I was heading towards Rover, I found enough clues to know there was something in Rover, something in Bodley, and something in Laruba. And so that's when I made the gamble of saying, they're not going to make us dive every mansion, because usually, I mean, there's very few seeds I've played where you have to dive every mansion, so that's when I was like, I'm just going to fade Berkeley and hope it pays off.
That worked out for you?
Yes.
Pretty big time.
Well, that worked out really good. GG's. Thanks everybody for doing on with this. So it was good, and we got we made it right down to the end. So there was all the way down to 1 game, which was good with having the 4 of us. So we were able to get the most of the games out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this is the first time that we've actually pushed the game 2 in the Grandfinals, which is fun.
Do we have any runners have any final thoughts before we sign off here?
GG's to bigdaddydrums. I felt 100% behind in both seeds just because I know how good of a player you are, and the choices you make are usually amazing. So yeah, I was actually nervous throughout both of those seeds.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, I was going to be tough going in because I knew that you were certainly one of the racers that I hadn't gotten a win against yet. So yeah, we knew they were going to be tough, and it seemed like they were both, fairly close.
All right, thanks guys. Congratulations to you both, and making the finals. Congratulations to Xytoriak on the win. So with that, we're going to sign off for today. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us and watching these great races. Hopefully everyone has a fantastic Saturday, and we will see you next time on Speedgaming.